I'm so proud of the boys. I actually said at tea time, regardless of what happens the last 2 hours, I was so proud of the way the boys fought. We said that we're going to really fight hard. We're try and make Australians proud of us again, and I think it was an amazing finish for us to get the draw, and but just the way the boys fought it out was brilliant. I thought we fought it, besides that mad couple of hours where we lost 10 for 60, I thought the boys fought and worked so hard throughout the game. It was a really great performance. I actually talked about that test match this morning to the boys before the game, and I remember that test match because it was against Pakistan, obviously, and it was with personal involvement, but what was important for some individuals in that game, but more importantly it was for the team. We felt if you could win from there, you could win from anywhere. So for us to draw the game from where we've been throughout this game, that's going to be a huge confidence booster to help us build this team. And back then, we won 16 straight test matches. Now, I'm not saying this team's going to do that, obviously, but what I am saying is it was a huge confidence booster back then, and I've got no doubt for this young team, and in a lot of ways a very young captain, that's a huge confidence booster for them. And never underestimate how victories like that, or even though it was a draw, what a significant event that can be for building a team. I no doubt, because there's been so much talk about how we play in the subcontinent, which is fair enough, and also our batting collapses. So to see the guy, they're learning that. We've had great preparation leading into the test match. I knew we'd had great preparation, and I knew there's a brilliant spirit in the team. It's really calm in there at the moment. So to see that, it was really deflating for everyone. Actually, when we lost that, had that collapse, literally it was so deflating, because the things I believe in great teams are preparation and camaraderie. It was all there, and then we have a performance like that, and then you start questioning. We all start questioning where we're at, but then to see the way they boys put their preparation into practice throughout the game, but particularly that second innings, is a great credit to all of them. I've got so much admiration for Uzi. He's look at him. I mean, he's got himself really, really fit to bat in these conditions, and to do what he's done is a great credit to him. But then to also overcome the demons of people have talked about whether he can play spin bowling. I had never had a single doubt that Usman Khawaja could play spin bowling, and it's great to see him getting the benefits of the Australian A Tour, and then the work he's put into it, to get rewarded for all the work he's put in. It's massive for him, and I've got no doubt he's done some great things in Test cricket, but when you have an innings like he's just had then, or a performance, a game actually, not just that innings, but the first innings was brilliant as well, you never underestimate again how that can take you to even a further level in your career. So yeah, I've got huge, always have had as a player, but huge admiration for what he's done over the last 6 months. You know, he's done well he's made runs in county cricket, made runs in Australian A cricket, now he's just had 2 brilliant innings in Test cricket. So he's doing exactly what we're asking of all batsmen in Australia to do. Be a good person, be super fit, and score lots of runs. It's a great credit to him that he's doing that. Well, just as a senior player, as a senior Australian player, there's always high expectation on him. But he's embraced it, hasn't he? He's embraced it so well. And he's another great example of leadership without a title. He's a senior player. I think he's played the most tests so far in the Australian team at the moment.
Apart from that,
so yes, besides Nathan, sorry, of course, and he hasn't got a C or VC next to his name, but he's providing massive leadership to the group by everything he's doing on and off the cricket field. He's so calm. He's got a good temperament. He's leading by example in his preparation. He's leading by example in his performance. So that's the leadership we're talking about. So whilst all I asked him to bring is a smile, because, and honestly, the last 3 months, what I need to do for UAE, just keep smiling, mate, because he's done all the hard work. He's a beautifully talented player, and he's got an amazing temperament. So with that smile and that temperament brings great leadership to the group. Well, we'll talk about the good news story first, and that's that Aaron Finch, again, I'm so pumped for him. You know, to have one thing I know in great teams, not just preparation and good spirit, But one of the main building blocks is a really strong opening partnership. So for the guys to get a 140 run opening partnership and an 87, 86 run partnership, I mean, that's huge for our team. So it's a great effort by both of them, and you're always looking, whenever you're building a team, you're always looking for the opening partnership, and they've certainly both put their best foot forward and they've obviously got a good chemistry to have two, great partnerships. So and in terms of other players, well, when the job, if you're not in the team, is to work really hard and make a lot of run, to force yourself in, to be so good you can't be ignored. That's how it's always been in Australian cricket, and that's how it's got to be, and that's the same with Matt or any of the players who aren't in the 11 for this game. Yeah, of course, I'm pleased with all the players. I'm pleased with 15 people who are here, and Matt's one of them. The reality, his numbers have been brilliant. He's got, he's done, since he was dropped last time, he went away and scored a lot of runs. He got runs in Shield cricket. He got one of the best hundreds I've seen in a long time in Shield cricket at the Gabba under pink ball game against West Australia last year. He's a very, very, very good young player. Unfortunately, like fast bowlers, he hadn't had time in the middle, and you never bring a ruckman back if they haven't much time in the middle. You never bring fast bowlers back, or it's hard to. And it's the same with Matt. The only thing that played against him this game, not his ability, not his work ethic, because he's done all the things so well over the last 6 months or however long since he's done everything absolutely to the letter. Unfortunately, he got 3 injuries with his broken finger, his hamstring, and then concussion. So he's batted in the middle in the last, I don't know, you guys will know better, the last 3 months for probably an hour. And it's really hard to come into these conditions when you haven't got match. Now, people could argue with that, and that's fine, but my view on the world is that there's nothing like match practice, and he just hadn't had any. But he's a terrific young player, really good in the group. Again, I admire the way he's gone about. He's had a smile on his face the whole time, and there's plenty of future for Matt Renshaw. I mean, it's just whether it comes in opening or in the batting number 3 or batting number in the top, I don't know. It could come anywhere. He's a good player. I've always said if you're open, you can bat anywhere in the order. So time will tell with him. Yeah, it's a good question. It's always managing those quicks, but Starkey got a lot of overs first innings. We certainly understand that, and it's always the $1 million question what we do with the fast bowlers, because if we've got our fast bowlers, particularly in Australia or going forward to England next year, we'll have they're a very, very, like the opening partnership of the top 3, that's incredibly important to Australia being successful. So we'll manage it. It's the start of the season, and hopefully we'll manage them well throughout the summer and this tour so far. Yeah, I just think that we talked about, as a left-hander, I'm a batting tragic. I love it. I've got a batting kicky here. He's a great bloke, but I just every now and then like to get my hands dirty and just talk to them. I love talking about batting, and especially left-handers. A different breed of left-handers. We've got to get our eyes that way and not. But anyway, and we just recognise that you've got to have a game plan. You've got to have a game in these conditions. When one of the things about batting as a left-hander, there's always rough there, and you've got to deal with rough, whether it's a left arm spinner or a leggy or even an off spinner trying to they were doing in the first, trying to tempt us to drive. So you've got to have a game plan. One thing all the great players will tell you playing anywhere with the subcut, you've got to have a game plan. So we just talked about what our game plans could be, recognise that the rough is going to play a part in the game, and then work out how you're going to play it. And I think the boys, Travis Head's innings in the second innings was brilliant. Like the way he's developing he's got a great future in Australian cricket. The way he used his feet back and forward, the way he overcome getting a duck in the first innings and then getting 70, mate, that takes a lot of courage what he did, and to also play his game. He's a very aggressive player, but he's also improving his defence. So they're the sort of things we talk. And then to have Uzi out there and Sean Marsh, who's played a lot of cricket, it was just a nice left-hand convention. The bowlers have got their cartel or whatever they call themselves. Damien Fleming and all these clowns, they always talk about the backmen in footy call themselves the Bulls, and then we're just having a little left-handers convention. That's what we're doing. I didn't really need to, but we had some honest conversations, and we've talked about it. After you have a partnership of 146, we've actually talked about it probably for the last at least month. What happens in the subcontinent is you've got to be on your game all the time, because it happens so quick. So it was sort of like, okay, it happened, and we're all deflated and disappointed, but we'd sort of prepared, knowing that, well, that could happen. So what are we going to do next? And it's honestly, I said it from day one, it's 15 ripping young Australian blokes, and they're all hungry to do well. They're all, working hard. The preparation leading into this test was absolutely awesome by all of them. So we didn't panic. We just stayed calm. And then I think because of that, I think that calmness showed in the second innings. I didn't know that, but that's I try not to think about wins and losses so much, but I do know that we're going to have to... I said to Travis Head, actually, when he missed out on the T20 side, at the end of this second test, you'll be coming and giving me a hug. And Finchy said it to me today as well, because test cricket is so tiring. Physically and mentally, it's so draining. So we're going to have to work really, work soft probably, to be really recharge our batteries as much as we can over the next few days to start again in 4 days' time. But that's all part of the back-to-back test matches, especially with our young guys. We're going to have to recharge their batteries as well as we can, and then have another crack at it. But they're all important test matches, aren't they? I'll tell you what I do know after today. Anyone who tells me test cricket's dead, they're crazy, mate. That is test cricket. That's awesome, isn't it? I mean, that's what we love. I mean, the cricket tragics, we love that. Test cricket's dead? No, the people who say that are crazy, mate. That's awesome. Down the last, they're all nervous, and mate, I love that shit. Yeah, I'm sure when we'll read your guys tomorrow, and we'll get seriously, and that's when we'll start recognising what a great day it was. I think that's probably why it feels like that we've had a win, because it really was. I mean, there've been some amazing achievements in the last 5 days, but yeah, I'm looking forward to reading some of that tomorrow, and either celebrating it with the boys tonight, as in, giving them a pat on the back and say well done, or certainly recognising what a great job they've done.
Did Australian cricket really need a performance like that after what's happened this year?
Well, what you guys know that I'm being consistent saying this is that we've said we've got to make it, whether we win or lose, we've got to keep making Australians proud of how we're going about our business. I've said it since day one, and I really mean it. So even I hope to think our behaviour on the field was outstanding throughout this game. The spirit between Australia and Pakistan was outstanding throughout the game. The way we kept fighting was outstanding throughout the game. And then to hold on like we did, Aussies love a battler, don't they? Aussies love a battler, and Aussies love an underdog. And so hopefully we'll put some smiles on some... we've got lots of fans back home. Hopefully put some smiles on their faces, because that's really important for Australian cricket right now that we do that.